Pretties, it's Angela, and today's video is going to be a bracelet tutorial video. I'm going to do 2 bracelets, and I'm going to be using the adjustable bracelet findings from BeeBeeCraft. If you are not familiar with BeeBeeCraft products, I will leave a link for their website in the description box below, as well as the item number for this product that I will be using in this video today. I have done other tutorial videos using these, and today I'm going to do 2 silver bracelets, and I want to try something a little bit different. If you watched the other videos, you know that I like to use these long eye pins to basically string my beads on. I find you can mold it to the wrist and bend them. You can use beading wire. You would just have to crimp it off on each end. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to try to make a multi-strand and see how that comes out. I have not done this ahead of time, so we're doing it together. But I'm going to use 2 of the chandelier earring findings, and what I plan on doing is using the little rings on each side of the bracelet to connect the single side and making it a multi-strand bracelet, connecting my eye pins to the 3 loops on each side. And I wanted to try to use these beautiful Labradorite chip beads. I think these are beautiful. You can see some of the flash colors in that. I love Labradorite. It's one of my favorite gemstones. And so let me go ahead and get my little scissors and cut this strand of chips. And just take some of those off of there. And I think, I'm going to go ahead and string some up and see how it looks, but I think that I may also put some of the little silver spacers in between the chips. So let me go ahead and load up my, this is a 70mm eye pin. And so I'm going to basically just string a few chips, and I'm hoping, let's see, hopefully they fit on my eye pin. Let's see. Oh, good. Oh yeah, they do. Okay. So some of the holes may be small, too small to fit, but we're going to roll with it and see. If not, we'll just put that sucker on the side and see if we can find another one that fits. And hopefully they will. Okay, so we're just going to push those down. I think I might try to do maybe 3 or 4 chips and then maybe a spacer bead and see how that looks. It looks like, it feels like a lot of the holes may not work. So let me give it another couple of tries, and if not, yeah, it looks like it may be more trouble than it's worth. So let me pull out my beading wire and crimps. Give me just a second. Okay, so what I did was I cut 3 pieces of bead-along flexible beading wire, and so I'm going to string it on that. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of my little bead buddies. These are really cool, handy little tool too, that you can just clip on to the end so your beads don't fall off and you don't have to worry about losing your work. So I'm going to go ahead and string on some of the chips. Like I said, Labradorite is one of my favorite stones. I love these. They're so pretty. I love the flash. I have quite a few pieces around my home that have some really incredible flash. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and try the 4. And I also changed my mind about the little silver round spacers as I was digging through my stash. If you see in one of my Michael's haul videos, I had picked these up, these metal spacers, and they came in 4 different colors. So I think that I want to use these because they have like that kind of faceted design, and it like almost looks diamond cut, and it gives a lot of shine and flash too. So I think I'm going to use those. So let me put this little, I'm going to move this out the way. Let me go ahead and cut this off of the strand. Put these off to the side. Alright, so let's see, I have 4 chips on there, and let's try one of these spacers. put a few more chips on. Trying to pick up some of these chips with the flash. I love that flash. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now we'll put another little spacer. I think it gives it just enough little flash in between those chip beads. Gives it a nice little sparkle. So I'm not going to make you watch me string all these chips on. I'm sure that's not too much fun. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and string up the 3 strands, and then I'll come back and show you how I'm going to go ahead and connect them. So I'll be right back. Okay, so what I did was I went ahead and strung up 3 sections that were about the same length. You know, your chip beads are going to be off slightly, a little bit different, but they're really, really close to being the same length. And for the middle section, I went ahead and attached these 2 already. So what I did was the middle section, I did 2 chip beads, 2 of the spacers, and then, so just to give it a little bit of a different look. And then my 2 outside strands, I did the 4 chip beads and the 1 silver, so it gives it a little bit more silver in the middle. I connected it to the 2 sides of the chandelier finding so far, so we're going to go ahead and attach that 3rd strand now. So I'm going to go ahead and get my little crimp bead, and these are some teeny tiny little crimp beads, and I'm going to go ahead and connect it to the 3rd loop of that chandelier component. And I'll try to get as close as I can and stay in frame. And try to get it back in this little bitty crimp bead. These crimps are so tiny, but I don't want a whole lot at the end. So used to working close to my face. That's what's hard. That's what I find hard about tutorials. Let's see. Just trying to keep it in frame and see what you're doing around the around the camera. Let's see. Because I just did the other 2 strands and I had no problems getting that little sucker on there. I find it's like when you're filming, anything that can not work is not going to work for you. Alright, so maybe it's a little crimp. I'm going to try a different crimp because some of them have smaller holes than others, and maybe that's why it's giving me a fit. So let me try that and see if that's what it was. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. It's like children make a liar out of you. It was funny. I went and visited my new baby cousin the other night, and you know, the new parents are like, oh, she doesn't like to get her diaper changed, and she cries every time we change her diaper, and so they have to change the diaper. Don't cry. I said that's kids are good for that. They'll make a liar out of make a liar out of you every time. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I did get it crimped. Get that crimp bead up as tight as you can, but you still want it to give movement around the loop because you don't want it to be so tight that it doesn't move and then it's gonna pop. So I'm going to go ahead and crimp that down real tight, and I'm just doing a flat crimp. And then I'm going to come in with my scissors and just snip off that wire. I'm going to move my chip beads down, and I'm going to crimp off the other end, and I'm going to get a different crimp bead because that other one gave me such a fit. I think the hole may have been too tiny. So let me try a different one and see if that was what it was. Could have been operator error too. Alright, let's see, where does that go? They're so tiny. But like I said, I just didn't want a lot of silver showing, or a lot of crimp at the end showing. Alright, so we are going to crimp it onto this end. That's why I went ahead and did the other 2 off camera, so you wouldn't have to watch me fumble with these crimp beads for so long. Alright, so that one went in easier that time, and then we're just going to make sure we get it as tight as we can as close as we want it. Give it a little bit of movement against that loop. And then I'm going to crimp it down. Crimp it down nice and tight. I'm going to get in there with the scissors and just snip that little piece of wire. I need to get a better flush cutter. That's why I'm using my little scissors. They're actually sharper than my flush cutters at the moment. Okay, so we have all 3 strands. And like I said, the chip beads, like this one may be a little slightly bigger, but when you lay it on your wrist, you're not going to be able to tell because they're just going to kind of go together. So that's our component for the middle of the bracelet. The 3 strands of that beautiful Labradorite and silver spacer beads. So now all I'm going to do is, let me see, we're going to try and see if this jump ring that they have, that it came with, is big enough to go around the component. Let's see. And if it is, then I'm not going to add a jump ring. I hate to really add jump rings if I don't have to. Let me get my little opening tool. Open that up. And let's see if it'll fit on there. It should. It's a nice size jump ring. I may just have to open it a little bit more. I don't like to open those jump rings more than you have to. Depends I'm out of shape. Alright. So I got that on. I close that little jump ring up. Make sure it's nice and closed. We're going to open the other end of that bracelet component. The adjustable band. And I love that. Again, I know I said it in the other videos, but having that adjustability in the back makes for a nice gift. I definitely will be ordering some more of these from BeeBeeCraft. These are really quick, easy bracelets to put together. And I think there's a lot of possibilities, a lot of fun. But even if it's just really, really simple, like something like this, didn't take me very long to put together. And I think the outcome is really pretty and elegant. And what I like, again, is you can hold that back there yourself. Push that down. Oh, I love that. I love how that came out. So that is really, really pretty, guys. Very happy with the way that Labradorite came out, and I love the fact that you can use that use those little chandelier components. It kind of just popped in my head the other day. I was like, well, I'm making all these really easy bracelets, and these were the other ones that I made in the other tutorials, which, you know, are fun and easy. They're really, really quick to put together. I did do these on eye pins and just made the loops on either side. Those were really quick and easy. So if you haven't checked out those tutorials, make sure you check those out. But this is really, really pretty. I'm really loving this. So I did, while I was off camera, you know, I could have left that on, huh? Let's see. Let me go ahead and put it back on. And I love the fact that you can do it yourself. You don't need anybody to help you put your bracelets on. So that's really pretty. I'm loving that. Okay, so then I went ahead and just put on a little ball head pin. 3 little chips, 1 of the little silver spacers, and then 3 more chips. And I'm just going to do a really, really simple wire wrap. So I'm going to bend it over and around my wire like so. I am going to put it on my earring. I have these little lever back earrings. I'm going to slip that on. I am going to hold this ring with 1 set of pliers and take this little tail end and go around and just do a really simple little wire wrap, because these little head pins are really, really thin, and so if you try to make a loop, it's probably not going to stay. So, and it's just a really basic, quick little earring. It's nothing fancy, but and then let's see, where's my little cutters? Let's see if this will cut this. Like I said, my little flush cutters and really poor things are worn out. They're not all that sharp anymore. And then if you have a little piece of wire sticking out, you can just smush that down. I may need to cut it a little bit shorter. Let's see if I can get in there. Okay. Alright, and so there's one of the little earrings done. Really pretty, match the bracelet. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the other bracelet. I'm sorry, the other earring. So we're just going to bend that over. These head pins are so thin. So thin. Okay, so I'm going to put my earring on here. Slide that on before I close it up with the wire wrap. Hold it with one pliers and pull this one around with the others. Okay, just till we get all the way down to the bead, and then snip that little extra off. And like I said, if you have any little loose end, just tuck them in. You don't want to scratch anybody. Okay, cool. So now we have a nice little fun pair of earrings to match our bracelet. I'm going to go ahead and slip it off so we can show it. And I think this came out really fun, cute. And the little earrings to match. And again, let's see, there we go. Just maneuver it around a little bit, but I think it came out really nice. So it's a different option than just doing one straight row of a bracelet. And I got to use those really pretty Labradorite chips that I've been wanting to use. So I'm happy with how that turned out. So let me go ahead and set this off to the side. And I'm going to do a really quick one with the one row on the eye pin like I did the other ones. But I wanted to use these absolutely beautiful Druzy beads, and I want to use some of the ones with more of the Druzy in them. So what I'm going to do, we'll see how fast this goes. I'm going to use one of my 70mm eye pins. Look at that. Love all that Druzy in that. These are beautiful beads. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put a little spacer. Let's see how that looks in between. I think that's going to be pretty. Here's another one with a lot of Druzy on it. I'm going to try to pick off the ones on the strand that have a lot of Druzy. Let's see. Oh, this one's got a lot of it on there. Love that. Alright. And again, the good thing about doing it on the eye pin is the flexibility that you have to mold it to your wrist once you're finished. And I think I can fit one more. Let's see. Come on, we got little Druzys. Let's see. I think I'm going to go with this guy. He's got a lot of little Druzy on the end. Alright, so loving those Druzys. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to use my one-step looper because I have enough room to. So why not? Like I said, I like it. I really enjoy using it when I have a lot of little dangles to do. It really saves time, for me anyway. Okay, so we have those Druzy beads on there. We have with the little spacers on the eye pin, and we made that second loop. So I am going to open this up, and I'm going to grab a different one. For some reason that one didn't have a little loop, a little jump ring on this side, which is not a big deal. You can just add a little jump ring, but time wise I'm just going to grab another one. And the description, I will link in the description box again BeeBee Crafts website information as well as the product information for these bracelets. I believe you got 8 in a pack, and you got 4 gold and 4 silver, which was fantastic. So what happened to, did it slide down into that bead? Okay, let's see. Let me go ahead and open this one up. And connect the other end. Make sure we close that up good. open this up in the back, slide it down a little bit so I can get it on my wrist. I can hold it here and pull it tight and adjust it. And you can see how it's really straight here. That's a good shot. You can see how it's straight. I'm just going to kind of push down on those eye pins and just mold it to my wrist. And then, perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And so I have all those pretty little Druzy beads. It didn't take me long, but it's a really pretty bracelet. So that is the other option. They're really quick and easy. String it on or feed it on an eye pin and make your loop, and you got a really pretty Druzy bracelet. So that is going to be the tutorial for today, guys. If you enjoyed this quick video, it's not super quick because I had both bracelets and I kind of had to pause to readjust. But anyway, it was quick projects. It really didn't take me that long. If you would, please give me a thumbs up. Click on subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a video to YouTube. And I do unboxings and subscription boxes, video jewelry hauls, and jewelry making videos. So if you would, guys, subscribe, like, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!